Hey guys, welcome back to today's video. You probably are thinking that I look exactly the same and I'm wearing exactly the same thing that I did in the last video, and that is because I am not even making an effort to make you think that it's another day of filming. But in today's video, I thought I would talk to you guys about my 37-week appointment that I had this Wednesday. I turned over 38 weeks today, so this is a week late. I did want to go ahead and tell you guys everything that happened in this appointment because there's some things that happen that no one ever tells you or talks about because they're just like, whoa, like that's just TMI. But then there's some things that happened to me personally that I was just like, oh my goodness. So now that I am really close to my due date, I have appointments every single week, and my appointment for this day was at 9 in the morning. My dad and my boyfriend did come with me. I checked myself in, they weighed me, and guys, I have gained another 10 pounds. I'm 170 pounds. I'm another 10 pounds. So back to the point of this story, or back to the point of this appointment. They weighed me and I saw how much I weighed. And then she asked for a urine sample, and then she took my blood. She didn't take my blood, but she took my blood pressure, and she took it twice because the first time it came out to be 153 over whatever it's supposed to be. I forget. And she was like, whoa, that's high. She's like, okay. She made sure that I wasn't crossing anything and that my feet were flat on the floor. So she did it again, and it came out again 153 over whatever it's supposed to be. So that did concern her, and she did let the doctor know before I went in to go see my doctor. She did let me know that the doctor was going to examine me, so my dad and my boyfriend were going to have to wait outside a little longer, and then they'll come inside once like the ultrasound and everything was being taken. This is the part where a lot of people do not tell you. Pregnant women do not tell you. I've never seen a bump date where they let you know this is what happens. I had no clue that the closer you get to your due date, obviously they examine you, but they stick a Q-tip up your vagina. I'm sorry as how blunt I'm saying it, but they do. And they put a Q-tip in your butt. Like, they swipe everything, it's just, no one warned me about that. And it's like, I would have appreciated if somebody would have told me that that's what they do when you're getting close to your due date. You know, a heads up would have been nice. So for those of you who are expect that. And she let me know that that was just to test that I had no like diseases down there that would be passed on to the baby in case like I am going to be delivering vaginally. That's my plan. But if you're going to I can't talk. They do that if you're going to vaginally deliver your baby. So they just want to prevent anything being transferred to the baby. So that threw me off, way off. The doctor started doing her measurements. She listened to his heartbeat. He's head down still, which is good. And this is where she guesstimated how much he weighs, which is the only part throughout this pregnancy that I kind of freaked out. Her telling me that this baby was weighing in at 7 pounds and 15 ounces already, or 7 pounds and 10 ounces, kind of freaked me out because my boyfriend, when he was born, he was almost a 9-pound baby. After that whole thing, like, she examined me and she checked baby to see if he was okay. She then continued the appointment by asking me if anything had changed with me. And I did let her know that 2 days prior coming to the appointment that I was in, I had called because I had a lot of pain while I was walking. While I was walking, I felt like there was like a stinging pressure. Like, I had to stop and like breathe in and breathe out, or like probably like bend over just to make the pain go away. So I, like a first-time mom, I don't know if that's normal. I don't know if that's not normal. So I called in and they just told me that that's normal. She then proceeded to ask me if anything was different with my vision or if I got any headaches, because she did see that my blood pressure was high. So that led her to ask me those two questions. And I'm very happy that she actually did ask me those two questions, because I had totally forgot to mention that I had three headaches for 3 consecutive days, and they were really painful. And I'm not the type to take any medicine, and I know that you can take Tylenol when you're pregnant, but I just chose not to, and that raised a red flag for her. And so she went and proceeded and asked me if my vision was blurred or if I saw any, like, spots in my vision. And I did. I have seen like stars and like spots in my vision, but I thought that was just because I was like moving quickly. Like, I didn't think much of it. So she sends me over to labor and delivery, and I've never been to that department before. Besides 11 years ago when my little sister was born in that hospital, we tell them that we got sent by my doctor and that she wanted the nurses to monitor my blood pressure for an hour. It's actually monitored for almost 2 hours because my blood pressure was not going down. And the nurse did let me know that if my blood pressure did not go down, that they were going to have to induce me. Hearing the word getting induced just kind of freaked me out just a little bit because I have nothing ready. This is exactly why I decided to make a diaper bag video or a hospital video, because of this exact same thing. She let me know that if my blood pressure did not go down within an hour, that they were going to have to induce me because it was a sign of preeclampsia. I'm not aware of what preeclampsia really is, but apparently this is why they check women every week at the very last weeks of their pregnancy, because things in their body tend to change. After being there for probably 30 minutes or an hour, a lab technician comes in and he draws my blood, and then he leaves. And then 30 minutes later, a midwife comes in and she introduces herself to me, and she's explaining to me what's going on. She said that she was going to check me to see how dilated I was, because apparently I guess I was having contractions because it showed up on the monitor, but I didn't notice that those were contractions. She went in, she said, I'm just gonna go ahead and check you. And let me tell you guys, I'm sorry if you guys don't like graphic things or don't like hearing that other people are in pain. You guys can just fast forward this part. She was checking me, and since like I said, I didn't feel no contractions, no nothing. My cervix was still really high up. She says the more I'm dilated, the more contractions I get, your cervix goes down. But mine was really up there. So she really had to kind of dig in to try to feel how like open I was. And she couldn't feel anything. So she was just like kind of putting pressure on my stomach at the same time, trying to feel how dilated I was. She was probably trying to figure out how dilated it was for like 5 minutes, and I was just like crying, and my boyfriend was just like, oh, like breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, and then she finally saw how dilated I was, and she was like, well, she's like, you're a centimeter dilated. After that whole thing, my blood pressure was taking another 3 times automatically, and my blood pressure went down. So they discharged me. They said that everything was fine, but that I had to be attentive if I had any headaches, that I had to take Tylenol. They would highly recommend me taking Tylenol instead of not taking anything, and that if I had blurred vision, to come back immediately, because that's not a good sign. So all these unexpected things happened at 37 weeks. Remember the dreams I told you guys about, that I went to the hospital and they're like, oh, you're 37 weeks pregnant, you're gonna give birth. That happened in my head while I was in there, and it was just funny. And I obviously didn't want Osaya to come out yet, because it was Thanksgiving the next day. We had plans. We had nothing of his clothes washed. I had no diaper bag ready. I don't have a car seat, and the crib is still not set up. So I'm thankful he's still in here cooking a little bit more. But time is coming, and he'll be here in 14 days or a little over 14 days if he decides to be a late bloomer. So that is what happened at my 37-week appointment. And so I will see you guys in my next video. I've tried to pre-record videos, but I don't have a lot of space on my phone. As you guys know, iPhones, I don't know where the storage goes. But I will see you guys in my next video, and if Osaya is here, I will try to vlog the whole process of me, like, you know, you guys let me know. Bye guys.